Many people think that they're close with their family members, but what they're actually describing is trauma bonding, enmeshment, and obligation. And this might be why estrangement is so confusing for older generations. In many families, children weren't allowed to be separate people. Children were expected to comply, they were expected to hold the family image, and that meant putting on whatever illusion that was being presented to the outside world. They weren't supposed to challenge authority, they just needed to keep the peace. Love was conditional, emotions were inconvenient, conflict was explosive or buried, and the family stayed together not because it was safe and nourishing, but because leaving was not socially, financially, or morally allowed. What held the family together? Fear, guilt, obligation, shame, and dependence. These are trauma bonds, intense, sticky attachments that form in unsafe and unpredictable environments. Trauma bonds do feel strong, but they're not secure and they're not warm. They're very anxious and rigid. Trauma bonds are maintained by pressure. From the inside, they can easily be mistaken for closeness because everybody's always in everybody else's business. There are intense emotional reactions and entanglements. People can't really separate without chaos or collapse because it's a dysfunctional system. And there's a sense of we're in this together, even if we're miserable together. Real closeness looks very different. Real closeness is emotional safety. You can disagree without fear of punishment or exile. You're voluntarily getting together with these people because you want to. You can leave or move away without fearing that you won't be loved anymore. Back in the day, people were disowned when they did something that the family didn't approve of or they distanced themselves. Another huge piece of this is emotional illiteracy. Older generations often don't have the emotional awareness and regulation skills. And so they didn't practice attunement or validating their child. Discussing feelings wasn't seen as something that was supposed to be done. And so a lot of these families think, well, we ate dinner together, we're close. We lived in the same house. I didn't know a thing about him, but we lived in the same house. That's not closeness. That's coexistence under pressure. So now we have younger generations that have the ability to leave, the ability to cut contact, the ability to name the abuse and the harm that they experienced. People are choosing relationships instead of being forced to stay in them. And it's revealing some truths. Suddenly, a lot of these close families fall apart, which shows they were never held together by actual love and acceptance. They were held together by a lack of options, enmeshment, and trauma bonding. So, a lot of times when somebody says, we're a really close family, what they mean is no one was allowed to leave, no one was allowed to tell the truth, and we called that love. And when the adult children don't recreate that system, they're shocked because they associate endurance with intimacy and enmeshment with connection. Real closeness doesn't require fear, obligation, or guilt to survive. If a relationship collapses the moment somebody is set free, there was never a secure bond or a relationship to begin with. Just a thought. Have a good day.